Go to a mirror right now, open your mouth, and look at your tongue. Because what you're about to learn might genuinely scare you. That thing sitting in your mouth right now is not just a muscle that helps you eat and talk. It's a living diagnostic screen. And it's been screaming information at you your entire life. You just never knew how to read it. Doctors in ancient China figured this out over 2,000 years ago. They could diagnose heart failure, liver disease, kidney problems, and gut infections all without a single blood test, just by looking at the tongue. And now, modern science has confirmed it. A clinical study published in a peer-reviewed journal found that tongue color alone, just the color, can identify disease with a 92% accuracy rate. That's higher than some lab tests. But here's what really got me. Most people walk around with a tongue that's already showing warning signs of vitamin deficiencies, gut problems, poor circulation, even early-stage liver disease, and they have absolutely no idea. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through every single tongue color, from healthy pink to a color that means you should call a doctor today. Here's what nobody tells you. Your tongue is alive, not just alive. It's a jungle. There are over 700 species of bacteria living on it right now. That makes your mouth the second most complex microbial ecosystem in your entire body, right behind your gut. And here's the mind-blowing part. These bacteria on your tongue are in direct communication with your gut, your immune system, and even your brain. So when those bacteria shift, when the balance changes because of what you eat, how you sleep, stress levels, medications, your tongue changes color. It's literally the dashboard of your body, and the warning lights are on. Most of us just don't know the codes. Let's start with what a healthy tongue actually looks like, because honestly, most people have never even thought about it. A healthy tongue is pink. Not bright pink, not pale. Just a calm, even medium pink. Like the inside of your lip, you should see tiny little bumps everywhere. Those are your papillae, and there are 4 different types covering your tongue right now. They hold your taste buds, about 10,000 of them. And they're the first thing that starts to disappear when something goes wrong inside your body. Now, here's where people start to get nervous. If your tongue is not pink, if it's red, like genuinely red, that's your body waving a flag. And there are several very different reasons it could be doing that. The most common reason, and the one millions of people are walking around with right now without knowing, is a B12 deficiency. Your body needs B12 to maintain the cells on your tongue's surface. Without it, those papillae start to literally atrophy and vanish. Your tongue becomes smooth, shiny, and painfully red. Doctors call it glossitis, and it affects up to 16% of the global population. But a red tongue can mean something far more alarming. In children, a bright strawberry red tongue with swollen bumps is one of the hallmark signs of Kawasaki disease, an inflammatory condition that attacks the blood vessels and can damage the heart. Catching it from the tongue can literally save a child's life. And then there's geographic tongue, one of the strangest conditions in medicine. Random red patches appear on your tongue's surface, surrounded by raised white borders. It looks exactly like a satellite map of continents and oceans. It affects about 1 to 3% of people, and here's the crazy thing. Science still doesn't fully understand why it happens, and this is the one that freaks people out the most when they see it in the mirror. A white tongue. Now, remember, a thin, whitish coating, totally fine, normal, but when that white gets thick, when it becomes patchy, raised, or looks like cottage cheese, that's a completely different situation. That thick white coating is almost always candida, a yeast that naturally lives in your mouth in small amounts. Your immune system normally keeps it in check, but the moment your immune system dips from stress, from poor sleep, from illness, candida explodes. and it takes over your tongue like mold on bread. And here's something your doctor probably never told you. Taking antibiotics is one of the fastest ways to trigger this. Antibiotics don't just kill the bacteria making you sick, they carpet bomb everything. All the good bacteria that were keeping Candida under control, gone. But white patches that won't scrape off, that's a different beast entirely. That could be leukoplakia. It's caused by chronic irritation, usually from smoking. And while most leukoplakia is harmless, here's the part people need to hear. In roughly 5 to 17% of cases, leukoplakia can develop into oral cancer. That's why any white patch on your tongue that doesn't go away within 2 weeks needs to be looked at by a professional. Yellow tongue. This one is sneaky, because the most common cause is something totally mundane: poor oral hygiene. Dead cells build up on your papillae, bacteria feast on them, and they produce pigments that stain the surface yellow. Brushing your tongue or using a scraper fixes it in days. But if your tongue turns yellow and you haven't been slacking on brushing, that's when you need to pay very close attention. Because a yellow tongue combined with yellow eyes, dark urine, and fatigue, that's jaundice. And jaundice means your liver is struggling. Here's what's happening inside you. When red blood cells die, which happens naturally millions of times a day, your liver breaks down a yellow waste product called bilirubin. When the liver can't process it fast enough, bilirubin builds up in your blood, and it stains everything: your skin, your eyes, and yes, your tongue. Now, this is the one I told you to wait for, the color that most people have never even heard of as a warning sign: purple. If your tongue has a purple or bluish purple tint, do not ignore it, because this is your heart and your blood telling you something is wrong. A purple tongue means your blood isn't circulating properly. Traditional Chinese medicine identified this as blood stagnation 2,000 years ago, and they were spot on. Modern cardiology now confirms it. When your heart isn't pumping efficiently, or when your arteries are narrowed by cholesterol buildup, oxygen-depleted blood pools in the extremities, and your tongue packed with more blood vessels per square centimeter than almost any other tissue, it shows the stagnation first. And if the purple shifts into blue, true blue, it means dangerously low oxygen levels in your blood. This can come from chronic lung disease, severe pneumonia, blood clots in the lungs. If you see it, or if someone you're with has blue lips and tongue, you call for help. Take a breath, because this next one looks strange, but I'm going to save you. Brown-black tongue, it looks like something weird, but in most cases it's actually harmless. What you're looking at is called black, hairy tongue. And no, hair is not growing on your tongue. What's happening is that your papillae, those tiny bumps, have stopped shedding the way they should. Normally, your papillae grow, wear down, and fall off in a constant cycle. But when that cycle gets disrupted by coffee, tobacco, certain mouthwashes, even bismuth medications like Pepto-Bismol, the papillae keep growing. They get long, they trap bacteria and food debris, and they turn dark. If you have a dark tongue and you also have uncontrolled blood sugar, that's a different conversation. Diabetes significantly increases your risk of oral infections and changes in tongue appearance. So, if a dark tongue persists for more than a week despite good hygiene, get your blood sugar checked. That's early detection. 2 more things before we wrap up, because these are the details that separate someone who glances at their tongue from someone who actually knows how to read it. First, the coating. That thin white film on a healthy tongue. It should stay thin. The moment it gets thick, yellow or furry looking, your gut microbiome is almost certainly off balance. Remember, your mouth and your gut are one continuous system. The 700 bacteria species on your tongue are the opening chapter of whatever is happening in your digestive tract. And second, the shape. Look at the edges of your tongue. If you see wavy indentations like your teeth have been pressing into the sides, that's called scalloped tongue. And it can signal hypothyroidism, fluid retention, or sleep apnea. Your tongue literally swells overnight while you sleep, presses against your teeth and takes their shape. So your tongue is not just sitting in your mouth doing nothing between meals. It's a real-time health monitor that updates every single day. Starting tonight, when you brush your teeth, look at your tongue. Check the color, check the coating, check the edges. You now know more about reading your tongue than 99% of people walking around out there. If anything we talked about today matches what you see, don't panic. But don't ignore it either. Your tongue gave you the clue. What you do with that information is up to you.